How does the Persist software assist in the intake and call routing? First of all, what is it and what does it do?
So Persist Software is essentially a three-in-one call center app. It's an application web-based, and for some of you that know more of the technical side, it's WebRTC. So when you call, it's all web-based calling. It's not an app on the side of your phone. It's not on your actual cell phone. It's web. Everything is web-based when it comes to Persist. What it does is it integrates with your CRM, and it's outbound campaigns. So if you set up a campaign and say, I need to call 2,000 people about hernia mesh, you can set up a campaign that's specific to hernia mesh and start the system. Now, what the system does is with the integration, it will automate calling, emailing, and texting in a sequence of events and time. So I want to call all my hernia mesh leads for 30 days, and I want them to be called first, texted second, then emailed the first day. Second day, I want this, third day, so on and so on for 30 days. You set it in the system, including the actual text of the actual email and the voicemail that's going to be left if they don't pick up the phone. Build it in the system, and the system just literally talks to and calls out. Boom, boom, boom. The moment somebody picks up, meaning a client or a potential client, it connects with a live agent inside of the law firm. It is not a robodial. It's the closest thing that I could consider it that people are used to hearing is power dialing.
Wow. That is incredible, and that's completely different. So I would imagine that the other form of Persist that when I was researching the database mining, how does that play into this? Because that's like the yin and the yang, right? Is like you have this amazing database and then you meet certain, I guess, criteria. Tell me about that and how that works.
So data mining is more, I'd say more of a concept than an actual piece of software, because it works in conjunction with your data. So let's put it, this is how we run data mining at our law firm here. And that is, you've got a pool of clients. You're allowed to communicate with them, right? Let's say they had hernia mesh problems, a Zantac client, whatever it might be. They're all part of the drug mass torts or device mass torts. Chances are they have had other problems. It's just the nature of issues, right? Diseases and problems like that. So data mining is going out and creating a campaign using Persist software so that there's no wasted time, no wasted effort, and informing these clients through email and text message. Sometimes you don't even need a calling person. You might not need that. The campaign could be 30 days of just emails and text messages. And so if they call back, then you can deal with it at that point because it's all tracked. So when it comes to the data mining, we basically create an email campaign, text message campaign with drips, flows that tells us, hey, did you have this? Hey, did you have that? Hey, did you know about this? Did you know about that? So it's consumer awareness, it's informing clients, and it's also twofold effect. You keep nurturing them because what do you all know about clients? The best client is a client that comes back. The best client is a client that can inform other clients, because you spend less money on current clients than you will on new client acquisition. So data mining is, like I said, more of a concept than it is a actual piece of software. And it works in conjunction with all of the pieces of tech that we use currently.
And would Persist be, is it specifically for torts in that area, or would it work for like single event and car accidents?
It works for pretty much any company that wants to do outbound campaigns. As a matter of fact, I'm not allowed to say what company it is, but it was a massive call center slash internet provider that was very interested in using it for outbound sales. It's primarily B2C, I'd say, though. B2B, it needs to be a cell phone or a phone number that somebody's going to pick up, because if there's an auto attendant, it thinks it's a voicemail, right? So there are some pieces of functionality that makes it more for B2C, less for B2B. But it is an outbound campaign system that works with pretty much any CRM that has an API.
Fantastic. Shifting over slightly, one of the challenges that some of our clients face, and I imagine many others face, is the cash flow from the torch side, right? Where, and again, I have very limited knowledge on this side, but for someone, it seems to be a lot of times you got, these single event practices, they have good cash flow or they have good cash reserves, and then they go into torts. If someone's wanting to get into torts, how do they handle the cash flow side of things, and what are some of the strategies on that side?
So I actually suggest things like this on a regular basis when we're at the shows. And that is, if you want to get into mass torts, you need to diversify. And the only way to diversify is to have the money to diversify. So it can be difficult to get directly into mass torts if you don't have a network of people like we do. I suggest you co-counsel, and you're going to get organic leads off of your single event practice. It's just the way it works. And we've actually created all kinds of referral deals and communications with firms that don't want to get into mass torts at all, but they know that they're going to get these leads during their call or intakes for MVA, for this, for that. They're just going to get it. It's just what happens. So pretty much whatever practice you have, I suggest communicating with a firm like us, getting an agreement in place, and understanding what our criteria is, or what the criteria is for the different things. Because the more work that you do as a firm and hand off to the next firm, the more you're going to get in the split fee, obviously. And so we as a law firm are able to do that. We're not just marketers. So we're able to craft agreements that just make sense for everybody, including the client, right? Because the client's going to win out, because now they go to you, they trust you, then you hand it off to someone that you trust, like us. And we work only with people that are on the steering committees that make these decisions and can get the highest compensation for the client and the attorney. So everybody wins in that situation. And anybody that wants to get into it, I also suggest it doesn't hurt to put up a little landing page if it's something that means something to you. Perfect example is hair relaxer. I've had family that used hair relaxer. It's predominantly Black and Hispanic that use it. It's causing cancer. And so it's something that's personal to me. And if I were, an attorney, I'd be putting up a page immediately and start telling everybody I know in my community about it, and start emailing them, getting involved in, my local church and all of those places that I know I can talk to these women that use hair relaxers, and where I can go and make it change and impact, because it means something to me. So if it means something to you, like 3M earplugs, like Camp Lejeune, even Camp Lejeune, if it means something to you, I say put a page up and do a little bit of marketing, do a little bit of grassroots marketing. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you believe in it, they will know that, and they'll sign up with you.
Well said. Well said. I love that.